welcome to the second video for quarterly estimates, and this is step 1 in the spreadsheet. So you'll see number 2, quarterly taxes, and then right here, step 1, select your tax information. So I'm going to go line by line through this. I do recommend looking at your last year's tax return. So first, you just select your filing status. Again, yellow, you enter in yellow cells throughout the spreadsheet. Everything else is calculating for you. So if you see this little arrow, that's a drop-down menu. So you can see your filing status on your last year's tax return if you're not sure what it is. Typically, your status is based on December 31st, 2016. Were you single? Single. Were you married? Married, filing joint. It doesn't matter if you got married on the 31st. You're married, filing joint for the whole year. That's how your status is. And then head of household is if you are separated, you don't live with your spouse or ex all year, but you have a dependent child. And whatever you select, the amount here will automatically adjust. Now, this second one, if you have your tax return in front of you, or you may know off the top of your head, if you itemize your deductions, this spreadsheet isn't set up for that. I do have spreadsheets that go with this that I sell that do your itemized as well. But if you know what that amount is, if you see it on last year's return, you can just enter it here and the calculation will automatically incorporate that. So, but you would just have to estimate it and enter it there. And enter it for the whole year, regardless of which quarter. Otherwise, most people don't itemize. Now, the tax people might have tricked you before and taken your charitable deductions or your employee business expenses, but unless all of your itemized deductions are greater than this amount right here, based on your filing status, it doesn't count for anything. So typically, unless you own a house, you have substantial mortgage interest, most people are actually just take the standard and you don't need to worry about this unless you pretty much own a house and are paying substantial mortgage interest. All right, personal exemptions and dependency. So if you're single, you get 1 personal exemption. If you're married, in this case, like I selected, you would get 2. Now I have information in here just to give us something to go on. And then dependency deductions. So and you can look at your last year's return. Typically people know who their dependents are. You may have 1, you enter 1. You have 2, enter 2. Calculates the amount. Now these 2 questions are based on the calculation for the penalty. So do you expect your income, that's total income from jobs, working for yourself, you and your husband, do you expect it to be greater than $150,000? At this point, at the end of the year, you should pretty much know. Yes, no. Select here. What was your total 2015 tax? Now, chances are you need to look at your last year's return. This is not your refund. You look at your Form 1040, line 44, or whatever line you might have a shorter version says total income tax. Enter that amount here. Just type it in. I'll see you in step 2. Let me know if you have any questions.